15 new Switch games just landed on my radar, and honestly, this batch is one of the most wildly diverse lineups I've covered in a long time. We're talking roguelites, haunted mysteries, cozy cafe sims, and even a Pokemon comeback that fans have been waiting years for. Stick around, because a few of these are going to surprise you in the best way possible. There's something special about a game that makes every single victory feel hard-earned, and Hunt the Night absolutely delivers that. It's a dark fantasy action RPG that reads like a love letter to both classic top-down adventures and the punishing rhythm of Souls-like combat, all wrapped in a world dripping with atmosphere. You play as Vesper, one of the last stalkers, warriors fighting to push back the night, a relentless cycle of horror that has devoured humanity over and over again. Across the ruined landscapes of Medrum, you're constantly dashing between enemies, blending melee strikes with ranged attacks, and carefully adapting your build to survive brutal bosses and treacherous dungeons. The world itself rewards exploration. Towering cathedrals, forsaken libraries, and drifting floating cities each hold their own secrets and dangers. What truly sets this one apart is the deep customization. You shape how Vesper grows, tailoring every upgrade to match your style, whether that means relentless sword assaults, strategic range barrages, or chilling dark powers. Path of Mystery. A Brush with Death is exactly the kind of game that gets under your skin and refuses to let go. You step into the role of Doppo Akazawa, a university freshman who discovers he can travel back in time. And that ability isn't just a cool trick, it's the entire beating heart of everything this game does. Your Mystery Research Club isn't simply doing academic research. You're literally bending time to peel back 30 years of secrets surrounding the brutal killing of a famed landscape artist. The gameplay has you talking to witnesses, nudging past events with your unique powers, steering conversations toward the truth, and managing your own secrets while hunting down a killer who's been hiding behind decades of carefully constructed lies. Caves of Kud is the kind of game that's genuinely difficult to describe without sounding like you're overselling it, but here goes. Set in a post-apocalyptic science fantasy wasteland, this is a roguelike RPG that feels less like a random dungeon generator and more like a living, breathing world with its own pulse. Every session writes its own history. Rival factions rise and fall, ancient rulers leave behind cryptic legacies, and nearly every character you encounter might be the pivot point of a narrative twist you never saw coming. You can build a cybernetically enhanced human or mutate into something bizarre and entirely brilliant, and the game hands you the tools to craft a journey that feels genuinely yours. Every tile on the map, every strange NPC, every unforgiving cavern brims with unpredictability, and being cautious sometimes beats being brave in ways that feel satisfying rather than punishing.
The laws of physics. Who swapped bodies with a goat? Who swapped bodies with a robot? Who swapped? And of course, my most popular commodity, the deathless spire of light that carves the bright sky like I do a slab of granite.
If classic JRPG vibes, pixel charm, and genuinely clever turn-based strategy are your thing, Wizmans World Re deserves a spot at the top of your list. This is a full revival of the beloved 2009 title, brought back with modern polish and a level of strategic depth that's surprisingly rare even in dedicated remasters. The setting pulls you in immediately. You arrive in Wizarist, a forgotten city sealed off from the world for a century, where the townspeople suffer from collective amnesia, and only the legendary dangers lurking in the dungeons below hold any real answers. You don't face those depths alone. 3 homunculi companions, deceptively cute but seriously powerful, join your side, and together you'll use the Anima Fusion system to absorb defeated enemies, inherit their skills, and customize your party in endlessly satisfying ways. Death Howl is one of those games that shifts your entire expectation of what a strategy title can carry emotionally, and it does it without ever letting the mechanics get in the way of the feeling. You play as Ro, a mother whose child has died, and her grief literally tears open a gateway into the spirit world, a place she must now fight through, adapt within, and survive in order to bring her son back. The combat plays out on a grid, where each battle unfolds like a delicate puzzle of life, death, and decision-making, with cards fueling every action and the decks you build defining your entire tactical identity. More than 160 cards give you deep customization to work with, and every fight is brutal enough that every single choice carries real weight.
Got lost. You ask the same question. Marshes. Will they ever carry yours? For what? How many spirits will you kill?
Hakuoki Sweet School Life takes the beloved Hakuoki universe and does something genuinely unexpected with it. It trades samurai battlefields for classrooms, school festivals, water gun fights, and the wonderfully chaotic stress of midterm season. The stoic Shinsengumi warriors and heroine Chizuru Yukimura are reimagined here as students and teachers navigating modern Japanese school life, and the result is something that's cute, fun, and full of genuine heart. Beneath the lighthearted surface, though, there's a real narrative with branching routes and character endings, where the choices you make unlock romance with your favorite characters in ways that feel meaningful rather than mechanical. What makes this release especially significant is that the Switch version marks the first full English localization the title has ever received, making it a true must-play for anime fans around the world who've been waiting for this one. When the original Lil Gator game arrived, it quietly won over an enormous number of players with its sunshine-soaked island, breezy 3D platforming, and a heartfelt story about a young alligator doing everything he can to earn his sister's attention. Lil Gator Game in the Dark takes that same irresistible formula and builds meaningfully on it through a full-length expansion that pushes the adventure into fresh territory. The familiar blend of thoughtful exploration, mini-quests, crafting, and cozy side activities is all still here, but the expansion layers in new areas, deeper mechanics, and additional narrative beats that give the original world a richer sense of depth. Fans praise the base game for its emotionally grounded storytelling and calming design, and everything about this expansion feels built to amplify exactly those strengths. Nighttime environments, new challenges, and discoveries waiting around every corner for anyone willing to wander. If you've ever sat around a table wishing your tabletop RPG session could just play itself, Baladins might be the closest thing to that dream made real on a console. This is a co-op fantasy adventure for up to 4 players that wears its heart openly and proudly, casting you and your friends as the Baladins themselves, merry troubadours and wanderers whose mission is refreshingly joyful. Roam the whimsical land of Gatherak, help its people, solve quests in imaginative and often unexpected ways, and spread delight wherever the road takes you. There's a brilliant twist underneath all that warmth, though. The kingdom is trapped in a mystical time loop, and every 6 weeks a cosmic dragon rewinds the entire world unless you've gathered enough meaningful treasures to appease it.
Only they can bring an end to this loop in time. With joy and sing, the Baladins hymn. Restore the peace, a cause most just. Together they...
Under the Island feels like someone took everything wonderful about the golden age of top-down exploration games, gave it a fresh coat of modern polish, and then quietly poured a tremendous amount of heart into every single corner of it. You play as Nia, a newcomer to the mysterious Seashell Island, whose fate turns out to be deeply tied to ancient forces stirring beneath its soil. The vibrant pixel art pops beautifully on the Switch screen, and the world itself is sprawling, full of secrets, quirky characters, and bizarre monsters that make exploration feel genuinely rewarding rather than routine. You'll move through forests, frozen caverns, eerie greenhouses, and chaotic sawmills, each region carrying its own lore, puzzles, and hidden treasures worth uncovering. Along the way, you'll meet locals, build relationships, and even befriend animals who will fight alongside you in combat, especially if you remember to bring them treats.
Questionable authorship can be negotiated. This same culinary cunning proves effective. With it, our explorer redefines combat involved with snacks.
Maid Cafe on Electric Street drops you directly into the heart of Osaka's vibrant otaku culture, specifically Nipponbashi, a real-world haven for anime, gaming, and the kind of quirky subculture energy that feels like its own universe. The setup is immediately relatable in the best way. After walking away from a toxic job, your reluctant hero stumbles upon a rundown Maid Cafe, meets the charming Shiro, and somehow finds himself pulled into the challenge of managing and breathing new life into the struggling Fua Fua Cafe. Your days fill up quickly, serving customers, wandering the city, getting to know the maid staff one conversation at a time, from Shiro to Miyu, Favna, and Honoka, each with personalities distinct enough to make the world feel genuinely lived in. You'll assign work shifts, explore local stalls for things that might boost business, and navigate quirky story events that shape the cafe's future in ways that feel personal rather than purely mechanical. If you played Neva and felt something shift in your chest by the time the credits rolled, this expansion is going to mean a great deal to you. Released on February 19th, 2026, Neva Prologue isn't a continuation of the main story's conclusion. It goes in the opposite direction entirely, rewinding time to show you how the young protagonist Alba first encountered a lost wolf cub in the middle of eerie, corrupted swamps. It's the origin of the bond that defines everything the base game puts you through, and experiencing it with full knowledge of where that relationship eventually leads gives every moment here a quiet, aching weight. Kletka is the kind of cooperative horror experience where the thing that's supposed to protect you is just as terrifying as everything trying to kill you, and that tension is what makes it genuinely unsettling from the very first floor. Also out on February 19th, 2026, this chilling game drops players, either solo or alongside up to 6 friends online, into the role of convicted criminals forced to descend into an endless megastructure aboard a living, ravenous elevator. That elevator is not your ally. You have to constantly feed and maintain its systems just to keep it moving, all while venturing out onto dangerous floors packed with deadly traps, strange anomalies, and otherworldly threats that punish anyone who lingers too long. Four-player Grand Prix, or 4PGP as it's known, is a love letter to the golden era of arcade racing, and it arrives on February 5th, 2026, with exactly the kind of energy that makes you want to grab 3 friends and start yelling at a split screen immediately. 14 unique tracks spread across locations around the world, 19 different Formula-style cars to choose from, and a difficulty range that runs all the way from rookie to expert means there's a genuine entry point here for every kind of player. Accessibility options like assist mode and gyroscopic controls make it easy to jump straight in, while the range of modes, time attack for the lap time obsessives.